This is a very squeaky chair. So here's a story about a PC that I bought by accident, a gaming PC back in July 2022. On eBay I see a gaming PC for about 390 quid. And I thought to myself, I don't need a gaming PC, but I wouldn't mind one. Let's have a look at this gaming PC because it seemed pretty good. And I had a look, and at the time, I had a look at the component prices just to see what the component prices were versus the build price. And at the time, I think the motherboard was a couple of £100, the processor was a couple of £100, the memory £100 or whatever it was, the M2 SSD I can't remember how much that was, so it was £100. But I thought to myself, whoever's buying this PC is either going to have it as a gaming PC because it's a decent setup, or they'll strip it for parts and sell the parts on eBay and make a bit of profit. Now, I mean, the PC has a Asus 570p mainboard. It's got an AMD Ryzen 5 2600X processor running at 3.6 GHz, 16GB Corsair memory, and an MSI GeForce GTX 1660 Super graphics card, which I think has 6GB of RAM on it. Obviously the case, which is a decent case, glass side panel, loads of expansion ports on the top and back, loads of ports on the top and the back, loads of space on the inside as well for putting other stuff. So I thought whoever's going to buy it is going to want it, they're going to strip it for parts and probably sell those parts or have it as a gaming PC. Got down to 15 minutes and it was still at 390, so I thought, let's have a look at the bidding history. And I'd seen earlier in the day there'd been a flood of bids, so I thought somebody wants this. I thought 15 minutes to go. Now this is a rarity for me because I'm usually one of these people who swoops in at the last second. 15 minutes to go. I thought I'll put 400 quid on it. £400, I'll do that. I thought somebody will outbid me, and if they outbid me I'll do oh, what a shame. Oh, but I won't bid anymore because, you know, I didn't really need it. And so 15 minutes in, £400 bid, sitting there watching the screen, thinking, right, 15 minutes, plenty of time for somebody to outbid me here, waiting for my phone to ping, waiting for the laptop to ping and all the rest of it. I got to 10 minutes, still 400, highest bidder. Got to 5 minutes, 400, highest bidder. 4 minutes, I'm thinking this is where somebody comes in because, you know, like they're going to want to see, they're going to want to push it, they're going to want this PC, the two people who've been bidding against each other, obviously automatic bids, but, you know, to their limit. No, 2 minutes, still no one. 1 minute, still no one. I'm thinking to myself, this is where I would come in. If I wanted this, I would come in and bid. I would bid, you know, like in the hope that I win it. Still no one. 30 seconds. Oh no, this is where I come in. This is where I would come in, I'm thinking. So expecting them 20, 10, 5. Thinking, oh, pushing it now to outbid me. 1, 0. And then it does that thing about we're figuring out who's won this auction. Please refresh your page. And I'm thinking it's me. I know it's me. So I refreshed the page and I'd won the auction at £400 excluding 20 quid or whatever it was to get it delivered. So I paid for it and it arrived a few days later, incredibly well packed. The guy had left a note attached to the side of the machine saying remove the bubble, the bubble wrap stuff from the inside of the machine. I've put it in there just to keep everything in place, and he'd put it in there to keep everything in place. Turned out that that some of the screws hadn't been put in for the main board. I had planned to install to put in more screws, except when I moved from my old place 3 years ago, I left a whole bunch of stuff there, so cables, screws, all the rest of it. I have none of that now. Anyway, that gets us to the other day when I was downloading a large file. I was downloading a 70 gig video file that I was going to stick on eBay, on YouTube. And I thought, oh, this is going to take an age because, you know, I mean, I live in a place that is only just starting to get other ISPs. And I thought to myself, right, I'll go downstairs, do some stuff, come back upstairs at various points to have a look to make sure it was still downloading and resume it if necessary. And then I came back after about, I can't remember how long it was, but I came back and the PC was off, and I thought, oh no, it's gone to sleep. So I did the usual stuff, hit the spacebar, nothing, moved the mouse and press buttons, nothing, hit the spacebar again just in case I'd hit the spacebar wrong first time, still nothing. Oh bugger, it's crashed. So I pressed the power button, nothing. There was a little LED underneath one of the bits on the main board, but that was it. Oh no, switched the PC off, switched it back on again, pressed the power button. The fans for the CPU and the graphics card spun for like a half a second and then stopped. I thought, oh bugger, what's gone wrong here? And I'm thinking, well, it's still obviously getting power, so it can't be the power supply. So I did a few more things. I left it unplugged for an age, came back, still nothing. Checked all the connections on the inside just in case something had miraculously come loose, still nothing. Changed the power cable, don't know why I did that, still nothing. And I thought to myself, it's the PSU, it has to be the PSU, the PSU's fan isn't spinning. So that was me thinking, well, you know, it's an Asus motherboard, it's I believe it's an MSI case, it's an MSI graphics card, it's Corsair memory, obviously an AMD processor. I thought, I'll have a decent power supply, and I wonder if it's got a Corsair power supply in it. If it's got a Corsair power supply in it, I know you can connect two of the pins using a pin jumper or a metal, what are they called? Paper clip in two of the pins, not just in any two pins or in any two little pins at random, but because that would be terrible. But there are two that you can jump, and it'll tell you when the power supply is working. I thought, oh, I could get a multimeter just to make sure all the power's coming out of it. Let's pull the power supply and see what it is, just to make sure that it has this jumper function. And that's when I pulled the power supply and thought, that's the cause source of the problem. So the power supply is this. This is a Xenter or Xenter 400 watt power supply. I say it's 400 watt. The actual DC output plus 12 volts is 360 watt. And none of the other numbers give me 400. And yeah, so I mean, and I've never heard of Xenter, so I thought I will take a look online just in case there's a, you know, like if your power supply goes, you can press this to, you know, like reset it or anything. Couldn't find anything about the power supply at all. So I thought, bugger, that's dead. It's a bit of a shame, but I'm not in a rush to get the PC up and running again. And I thought to myself, I'll leave it for now. I'll come up with a solution at some other point. And then I started looking at eBay for replacement power supplies. And a replacement power supply arrived today. It is the Corsair CX750, which is a discontinued power supply. It's not modular. Given its name, it's 750 watt power supply. It cost me 30 odd quid on eBay, and it works, which is even better. And the PC works as well. Now I say the PC works, it actually does. But because when I removed the old power supply I was a bit overzealous, I unplugged a whole bunch of cables. Didn't see where they all went, obviously, so I wasn't worried about not being able to plug everything back in. I was, however, concerned that I wouldn't know where some things went, and that's the case. I've got a couple of cables, I don't know where they go. I know one of them is a USB cable because the USB 3 port on the top doesn't work. But thinking about that, so the PC has a bunch of USB ports on the back and 3 on the top. 2 USB 2, 1 USB 3. And I'm absolutely sure that the USB 3 port on the top didn't work in the first place. I could unplug everything, open up the side of the machine, take a look to see where it all goes. Because I wouldn't mind getting it up and running again. But at this stage, everything is fine. and the PC is a lot quieter than it was, which goes to show you that this graph on the back, whatever it means, is a thing. No, it's meant to be a quieter. It's meant to be a quiet power supply, I think. Yeah, I think it is. The fans are spinning. It's lighting up. You know, that's fancy. It's underneath my desk. I don't need it to light up. I could disconnect all of the LEDs. And everything appears to be fine. What I am particularly happy about is when I restarted the machine earlier on, both the internal mechanical hard drives I detected and working, because I think it was right into one of them when it crashed. But now I'm happy again. My gaming PC is up and running again. It doesn't need to be top end. It's never going to be top end. I have no interest in top end gaming. I'm just happy to run the games that I have. And that's it really. That's the adventures of Technical Dave fixing his own PC that killed itself randomly. Fingers crossed it's not going to happen again, because I don't fancy buying yet another power supply. I do want to get some little screws though to mount that main board properly, because, you know, I mean, they're not expensive. The screws aren't going to be expensive, and it's dead easy to do. And the PC's great though. It does exactly what I wanted it to do, which is I didn't want it. No, it does exactly what I wanted it to do. I've got a VR headset for it. It runs that. It runs a lot of the games that I bought over the years on Steam. I could put an optical drive in it, I suppose. The power supply has some floppy drive connectors on it, so that's something that I could put in there. Probably won't. I've got a retro PC for that. But that's a story for another time. Anyway, I'm going because I've waffled enough. If you got this far, thanks. Give us a like. Or don't. I don't mind. Bye.